Hey guys, welcome to my You Asked series, episode 1. Today's topic or discussion question, is not going to be so much of a discussion, but rather information for you guys based off of a question that one of the viewers asked me. I know I introduced this series a while ago, and it's taken me so long to actually sit down and do this. And I'll be honest, it's not because I've been super busy. It's not because I haven't had the time. It's literally because I was in that funk for a while, and I just felt like I don't want to do it. I'm not at the right point. I don't want to do it. Well, I feel like I'm out of that funk. I'm feeling much better about things. I'm doing very well. So I said, what time better than the present to go ahead and do this? So today's question actually comes from a good friend of mine, Bert. His username is Weight Loss for Dudes. I'm going to be reading it right off of the laptop here. And if you want to go and read where he left this was on my Once More with Feeling daily vlog, day number 32. Bert said, "My question is a heavy hitter. It comes from knowing you for all these months and watching you daily and feeling as if I'm some type of relation, even though I'm not. Anyway, here it goes. Those of us who have followed you for all these months know that you're planning on having another child, and that from the sounds of it, pregnancy could already be underway or could be very soon. Thus, things will change dramatically for you. Some, maybe many women, would use pregnancy as a reason to throw up their hands and say, oh well, we're done, here comes the fat. Vlogs will stop, the shame sets in, heads are hanging, yada yada yada, but you are different, and I know you won't give up completely on living a healthy lifestyle. The question then is, how will you accomplish this? Some gain may be inevitable, more than likely, but do you have a plan for during the pregnancy as to how you will proceed? How will you do things in a healthy way to have a safe and healthy pregnancy, while at the same time either minimize weight gain or, if it's safely possible, lose fat while gaining the baby weight? Will you seek guidance from health professionals now, or have you already? What is your game plan for that 9-month span? How will YouTube and Facebook be a part of that?" There's a lot of questions in there, and it was just a great question. When I read it, I thought, wow. I mentioned the fact that once I get to my goal, I want to get pregnant again. I mentioned that, but I never really fully discussed my plans. But part of the reason why I haven't fully discussed my plans is because partly I don't know what you can and cannot do when you're pregnant. But what I can tell you is what I know I did wrong in my first pregnancy. In my first pregnancy, I started off at 212 pounds, give or take a few. I was very overweight when I started my pregnancy, and that mentality that Bert mentioned, where it was kind of like, just throw up your hands and whatever, I don't care, here comes the fat, I'm gonna get fat, that's exactly what I did. I had, and I kid you not, I remember just saying this, as a joke to my friends, but it really was how I felt of it. I would just say, well, if there's any time in a woman's life that looking fat is okay, it's when she's pregnant, so I might as well enjoy it. And I might as well eat whatever the heck I want and lay on my butt, because I'm pregnant. My stomach's gonna get huge anyways, so who's gonna care if it's a baby huge or if it's fat huge? Who cares? And that mentality is what got me to 260 pounds at my 6-week visit. And that's why it's taken me 2 years to get myself out of that rut. Why would I want to do that again? Well, number one, there's obvious reasons for wanting to have a kid and to go through pregnancy again. And then number two, I came to a realization that it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be, oh well, here comes the weight gain. I might as well just, be a human vacuum and eat anything and everything I want because I'm just going to get fat. It doesn't have to be that way. What I do know about pregnancy is this. In a person who's at a healthy, normal weight, which I'm almost at that range, For a person who's at a normal, healthy weight for their height, it is good for you to gain 30 to 35 pounds during your pregnancy. So what I know is that during my next pregnancy, whenever that should happen, I will shoot for only a 30-pound gain. If I can gain less than that, then I'll stick with the lesser number. But of course, there's going to have to be a lot of consulting of my doctor to see what he or she recommends. If they recommend that I gain the full 30, then I'll make sure that I, gain the full 30 in a healthy way. If they recommend that because of my size and the way that my body's built, it's not necessary to gain that much, which sometimes does happen, then, I'll work on a lower number. But it all depends on what the doctor says. It was either Heidi Klum who said this or Gisele Bündchen. And I know, they're both women who have had babies, but they're like ridiculous. And 2 weeks after having their kids, they're walking a runway half naked and looking perfect. I know, trust me. But what they said, I can't remember which one it was, but what they said was most women use pregnancy as an excuse to turn their bodies into a human garbage disposal and to just put anything they want in and not worry about weight gain, health, and consequences. I read that and I was like, ding, 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 ding. That was me. I turned my body into a human garbage disposal. I had anything and everything you can imagine that's poor in nutrition value. I had it, and probably on a daily basis. And on top of that, I did virtually no exercise. And then the second half of what they said was I decided to take pregnancy as more of a reason to be even more healthier than normal and to take care of myself even more than I had before being pregnant. Wow. And why do you think those women look the way they do 2-3 weeks, a month, 2 months after giving birth? Yes, they have personal trainers. Yes, they have chefs. Yes, they have all those things. But it's also that understanding that they had where they said, while being pregnant, it doesn't mean you can just throw everything out the window. It actually means you should be even more concerned with what you're eating, how much you're eating, what you're doing for exercise, and how much you're exercising, or how little. So that's what I know I will be doing throughout the next pregnancy. I will be on top of healthy eating just like I am now, if not more so fanatic about it, because I want to make sure that the baby that's in me gets totally the proper nutrients. And I will be even more so concerned with the proper amount of exercise. And one thing I am concerned about is running. When I was pregnant with Jay, my doctor said absolutely no running whatsoever, but he said brisk walking was okay. Now I think that he said that because I was so overweight, and starting running when I'm that overweight and pregnant may have stressed the child out. But again, when I speak to him next pregnancy, and explain to him that I have conditioned my body to running 3 to 5 miles a day, sometimes more than that, maybe he'll say it's okay to continue light jogging here or there 2-3 days a week or 2 days a week. It depends on what he recommends. And it also depends on how I feel during my pregnancy. So I will continue to work out. I will continue to do anything and everything in my power to be healthy during the pregnancy. That doesn't mean not gain any weight at all, because that's obviously not healthy for the child. It means to stay within the healthy weight gain range. And then after baby's out, back to business of getting that excess off. And it's totally, totally possible. And doing it this way, starting pregnancy at a healthy weight, gaining the healthy amount for the pregnancy, and then afterwards getting back down to your healthy weight will be much easier than what I put myself through the first time. I was so careless with my weight gain, with my health, and I'm ashamed to say it, because I could have threatened the life of my son. Thank God I didn't. I could have developed gestational diabetes. Thank God I didn't. But by doing those irresponsible actions, I gave myself 2 years worth of work, and I'm still not even done. So I don't want to do that again. but that's my plans. As for YouTube and Facebook, YouTube will continue. Maybe they'll cut down to weekly or semi-daily, you know, a couple times a week. Maybe they'll cut back a bit, but they will still happen. Facebook, I'm a Facebook addict, shamefully enough, so that will still happen. And I'm also considering, somebody gave me an idea here, I'm also considering taking a picture of the baby belly every day for the entire pregnancy. Every day, taking a picture of the belly growing every day. Can I stress that enough? Every day. Not every week, not every month, every day. And then at the very end, what I would like to do is compile this huge, it won't be super long because I'll speed it up or whatever, do some editing tricks, but like a video of just you seeing the belly going, and how big it gets and how it grows. I just think that'll be cool. And to have for personal reasons, you know, it's just cool to see. And I'm also very excited to compare, and that might be something I do on YouTube as well, but I'm also excited to compare the different stages of pregnancy with the next one versus the previous pregnancy I had. The previous pregnancy being the wrong way to do it, and the next pregnancy being the right way to do it. And seeing the differences at the same month periods of how I carry, the weight gain, how the weight distributes over my body, things like that. So I hope that answered that question. This is pretty lengthy, so I'm going to wrap it up. What I would like, of course, comment anything you'd like, any other questions that pertain to this topic, just comment below, and I always try to respond to all my comments. And also, if you have any other questions or weight loss related discussion topics that you want to know what I think about, and we'll all start kind of a vlog forum about it, my idea is that you know, you guys can give me a topic, I can make a video about it, and then when that video is up and you watch what my take on that topic is, you then make a video response and tell me what you think about that same topic. So it'll just be video. It'll be almost like having an actual conversation face to face, but through the computer. That was my idea. So let me know if you have any other topics, and I will make another video much sooner. And that's it. So thanks, guys, and thank you for the ideas, and yeah, I will talk to you later. Bye.